As far as I can tell at the moment, there isn't a guide for running JellyGo at all. I find this to be useful for people, and given that at the moment for the 80% easy category, I'm first in the world and have developed quite a lot of the strategy myself, I feel that I'm probably in the best position of any to create this guide. So this is an attempt to create a speedrun guide for the 80% easy levels. Kind of the scope of this is just to give the kind of main overall strategies per levels, give a bit of insight into what little tips and tricks that I'm aware of. It's not perfect at all, but it's a lot better than anything else out there at the moment as far as I'm aware. So if you're in the speedrunning scene or looking to, I'm hoping this video will give you the step up to be able to get a decent time on the board and start getting a feel for the run. By no means are the strategies in this run optimised fully, but as of right now, if you were to perform these strategies as shown, you could very well easily get yourself first in the world on the leaderboard. Just bring up a copy of the rules of the run just to quickly go over. So the official rules are, game starts when you click start, so the activation of this button here is when I will start my timer. In practice, I have got an old saving one at the moment, but in practice what tends to happen is people go into the first level to do the start, so that's something that's not really clarified and clear at the moment, but officially it should be on that start for going to levels. Not too important anyway. So for the first level, I'm going to take the timer off because it's distracting. First level, I'll restart it now. Just quickly select and go across. It's just instant on the mouse, there's not really much more to it than that. There's not much more to it, it's just going straight, clicking however you find easiest, simple level. So this one's straight across there, and then it's not going to allow you to select at the moment, you've got to wait, it's kind of a tutorial introduction level, so there's not really much more you can do apart from just getting good timing for when it does come up. So that's selectable in there, it then allows you to send, so there's no advantage to kind of being ready earlier and stuff, you just got to wait for that to come through and send. Whether you want to select like that or however, it's up to you, kind of it's just a muscle memory feeling, it's not really important. So yeah, it's really very little on the first couple of levels, it's kind of just very much bang off the bat and then waiting until you've got the right number of jellies for it to end the kind of introduction of how they make jellies and let you actually fire. You can probably save a second or so maximum, but really not too much in it. And then we'll come on to the third level. Third level again is very much waiting, teaching you about upgrading for doing the runs. The first like kind of 5 levels are really very little interest, it's very much just the same thing each time. Then afterwards it gets much more interesting and there's actually a fair amount of skill. But yeah, for the moment it's just waiting. Making sure you upgrade instantly when it lets you. There's not too much more than that. One of the things you are seeing someone do is this kind of selecting, because when you go over it, you have to select whether my mouse is in the right place, so you keep the mouse just underneath. Very kind of tiny level thing, just makes you able to mic that touch quicker. But again, this one again, you're still waiting for the instructions, and then it lets you send. If you try going before it pops up, it just doesn't do the select for you, and then you don't click the building, which messes you up a little bit for very little again. So we're now into level 4. This is the first level that I would say has kind of a certain level of skill to it and a bit of RNG. I'll also try and give a rough guide. So this one should be out in England, kind of a sub 30 game. It's kind of hard to say, but yeah, should be alright this one. And then I did it. I'm pretty good on this game, aren't I? But even with this like kind of poor run, the strategy is somewhat consistent. So I got game time 30. That really was quite good RNG at the start. Should have got less. But yeah, going back through. So the kind of main strat at the moment which I run is send a single send there and then double send down to this one down here. And then afterwards, I find that you want to bring the J's away from the one at the far end and just want to drive these two because they're a little more accessible. Having the J's a long way away tends to actually cause issues where you haven't got the ability to react to whatever happens. But yeah, I'm not doing a great job with this one this time. But it's a very early on one, so if I get a bad run, there's obviously the ability to reset. But if you see, yes, that's 34, so it's not a great time. But if I come back through, try and show a nice demonstration there. Single send, double send down there, and now I can get pressure onto the top one. I've gone low down there, so I can probably steal that with you, so yeah, steal that at equal distance. I've now got about the right jellies where I can just take their one. So that's a much better run demonstrating there. So 20 seconds, that's a really good time. So obviously, as I've shown RNG, there's skill factors. I didn't do great in the other run I showed. But kind of, yeah, that's the basic strategy. The more you play it, the more kind of just feel you get for it. I'll try to do one more. I've got 3 minutes left. I'm going to steal the big one here. I haven't got a great start, but I've gone with, if I get the big one, at least that means I produce jellies much quicker, because that's the thing, it's kind of a mixture of how you play this, but if you're able to produce more jellies faster than your opponent, no matter what you've done, you're always going to be in good stead, because you're going to be able to win the long game. So yeah, it's a poor run, kind of, 41 seconds, not great. Level 5 is a really consistent level, really easy. And the strategy you use is you wait for this to save up to 50, and then you're going to attack the turret, the fort. Then you're then going to save up to 27 and attack. The kind of maths behind it is that when we fire here, yeah, so they have 50 there exact, they're going to get shot at a few times, and then it will arrive with 42. The 42 is actually divided by 3 because of the strong defense of the turret. This stat varies on the level of the turret, but that then means that 42 gets divided by 3, and that's how much damage it does. So that's again why I use the 27, because it does the amount you do divided by that number, and it rounds down, which is useful to know when you're attacking turrets in general, but you also need to factor in the damage it does to your bubble as it shoots. That's probably not a very great explanation of it, but yeah. This is another level without perfect strategy, so I'll just now explain more of the thought process going into it. The turrets or forts do too much damage for you just to sit there and shoot straight through, so you want to go through a fort, but forts have slow movement speed, which causes issues. So if I shoot long, it's going to take long to get there, so I'm going into the intermittent turret as a way of being able to put pressure on and have jellies. And I feel I'm explaining this terribly, and then once I get that one through there, I'm going to have enough jellies that I can go and straight take it. I'll do that now actually, and then I'll go across to there using those jellies there, and should, not enough. Alright, well that's another terrible example. Got 51, but I'll do another example, hopefully show better how to play it. I think I'm going to blame the fact control, because normally I play in silence, so I kind of, it's a different situation playing and kind of explaining what I'm doing, show the strategies, think about what I'm saying. I'm not writing the script, so, but yeah, again, this one looks a bit better. I'm trying to take the ones. I mean, like stuff like that, I know the cap's 10 on it, so I know if I shoot higher than 10 I'm always going to steal it, and then there, I should just take it. That's a much quicker time, that's much more kind of like a good kind of benchmark time, kind of anything, I'd say sub 40, but yeah, like a 34 I think is pretty solid. I'll try and get an actual split of what like the quickest ones I've done for runs are, but yeah, very solid. Yeah, I'll try and do one more demonstration. So this is now level 7, this one's quite interesting, where I believe I had a bit of a breakthrough discovery on it. So I'll show you the old strategy first. Old strategy was go straight across to the one on your right here, upgrade, and then go across and take the top right one. You're then going to take the top right one and come down. You're trying to at some point get the big opponent jelly building, but until you've taken it, there's not really too much in it. But kind of wait to see, decide what to do, whether just to take a quick snipe on it or do more. But something like this is a fairly standard at the time. Oh, I haven't got it. I messed up. If I'd got that, that'd have been fairly standard at the time run. I obviously didn't, so it's a bit embarrassing slow. But it still isn't like horrendous timing. But yeah, staying around hopefully like mid-40s, I think. But the new strategy is you take here, top left one, you're going to do a half send onto there, and the aim is to get their jelly production building to go straight up, so I'll do it now quick. Like that. Then come over and take this, and then also you put one over. It hasn't done it this time. So I'm not going to get the like super quick runs to demonstrate, but still not a bad start. It's still basically timing wise in line with the old one. Yeah, this is looking like very typical. But yeah, and then yeah, I'll show the in-game time. So yeah, 48, fairly standard, which I think is still a reliable way to do it. But if I can get the good RNG and get the quick one, there we go. Look at that. So they've sent up the 15. So that's going to now take it down to 0, which then means that we don't spend our 15 to get across, we just instantly get to go in with value. And this is the kind of one where you can get a good time of like 30 odd seconds ideally. Yeah, so that's 36 seconds. So that's the ideal run. You have to see if you feel you get that kind of light variety, but that's my recommendation currently at the moment. I'll do it one more time just to go over. But taking that, sending one across there, going straight onto that, sending one over, and yeah, look at that again. I got the good luck again. I don't quite know what the like kind of odds of it are, so that we'll have to see on that. But so far, I've had very decent luck with it. I just did it accidentally in my most recent run, but it seems very powerful and effective. But obviously time will be the great revealer. Yeah, here's another one that's, what's that, 35, which is a really quick time compared to the old one, saves you potentially 10 seconds. Even if it goes a bit wrong, it still tends to be fairly reliable. It's only really if they then send their 15 up after yours, so they get the steal on it, that goes wrong. But that seems rare at the moment to me. Level 8 is a really simple one, it's just teaching you the mechanics. The only one I'll say with this is the tiny bit of kind of like macro that you can do is just select over and have it straight onto the fort. So the second it comes up, you're trying to get it just like kind of frame perfect, like that. But there's really not much in it. For this one, you can't do it the same way, because, oh no, you can, sorry, yeah, you can do it the same way. Obviously, you've got to click from the bottom, and yeah, just the same again. But it's saving you fraction of seconds, you don't need to really worry about it too much. It's the same as menuing, like, it'll make a bit of difference, but if you're losing 30 seconds somewhere, it's going to make massively more difference. At the moment, the run's not optimised enough to really have impact. This one, level 9 is an interesting one, because there's been a bit of an improvement in this level as well. It used to be the kind of average time for it was about the 110 with the old method, which I'll demonstrate now first. So this is kind of the old method. You go up one, you go down one. You might even take the jellies out of the lab for the moment to get your upgrades done quicker. Then from here, you would save up. I believe we did an upgrade. So it's been a little while since I've done the method. And then you're aiming to try and go from here and shoot straight over. So I think it's like 50 you needed. So I'll go when I get all of these across. But you go like that, and then you're going to get a freeze and take that one, and yeah, so you get a freeze. They've also taken that there. then freeze there. You then try and get enough jellies in these to be able to take out the tower, is my memory. Do something like that, something like that. Yeah, so that's a 103, which is, I think, for the old strategy, quite reliable. So you can do that if you want, but my new kind of breakthrough on it was you go across here with a split, you then go up top, and the idea of doing this is you get a freeze here. So I'm doing this quite slowly to demonstrate. But yeah, you're going to get the freeze on there, so you can instantly get a freeze done over that way. Then you freeze up onto that one. You get another freeze going to take this fort out, because the thing with these forts, they're such high level ones, so high upgraded, they're really difficult to destroy. So using the labs to get the freeze is ideal, but if you're going to limit yourself to the timings of that, you're going to be in trouble. So there, you then freeze there, and you then shoot across. And it's something like that, which is a lot more simple to, a lot more simple to do. And even with me demonstrating that still took a time, then I'll try and do a quick one so you can see it in action properly at full speed. Not quite ideal. You want to get that so you can go instant on the freeze, but it's not the end of the world. But the point of this really is the strategy. It's just this strategy saves so much more time. You get used to the actual kind of what you do in exact order yourself. But the main point to demonstrate, yeah, just is the strategy is so much better. It's 58, which really isn't great. I need to do a decent one to demonstrate, but oh, come on. So that again wasn't the best, but yeah, 55 seconds. So I think my best I kind of I think I did 49, but 55 to 49 is a really consistent time for it, even on the ones you make a bit of a mistake. I think it's quite reliable, so that's the new method that I'm using, and I believe is the best at the moment. Level 10 is another tutorial level, really simple, just you want to make sure you get upgrading on your production one first, the rest of them really doesn't matter, and then all you're doing is just sending straight up to the lab, and you're going to use a freeze, really simple level. Kind of, if you might want to check notes and stuff, it's the level to do it. But yeah, normally the reason for the thing I would say using the space bar to spam through, and then when you're down, when you got like 24 on it, so you'll see 23, 24. I know the next one's coming, so I can be ready straight away to upgrade, and then I just have to wait for the timing and fire. Another really simple one though. Yeah, the tutorial levels are like this. It's just they're kind of waiting. Level 11, I haven't really got the most consistent strategy. I like to take this one up here. You can try going for just instantly on there, but my memory is it was just not reliable enough. It's kind of a bit of what is that was really good RNG there, you'll see. And then I'm just going to try and take a trade and steal his main tower, and then go and win the match after that. It's another one again where I feel like probably some more optimization should be done with it really, but I feel that kind of at least with this method I'm able to kind of get consistent in kind of 30 seconds. I'll do a couple more runs to try and show you what I tend to do, but I tend to just go straight away for that top and above there because you're just so close you can go for steals. If you go for your own ones near you, you're not close enough I find, but hard to say. And then probably can go straight now just to steal over because that 8's coming in. Yeah, so I get the steal on this big one, and then it's just about sweeping up. And he hasn't got enough J's to ever really take a trade or come back. So that's a 36. I think anything sub 40 is fine on this one at the moment for the current record. Hard to say really, but seems solid. For level 12, you want to go for an instant steal on their main building. What you've got to remember is that to get this, you're going to have to kind of time it. The middle barrack fires slower, obviously, so it's not just as simple as firing both at the same time. And then bring that one down to the nearby jellies is good. Yeah, type 2 one's really pretty quick, but I'll demonstrate one more time. Try and in a more proper manner, and also just give that kind of variety with the RNG. And then I'm bringing that one down to the one he's going to steal in the top left. That's kind of the best strategy. It's a pretty reliable one, like 23 there. Occasionally it goes wrong, but it's really rare. Yeah, it should be pretty reliable to do that strategy and just kind of similar things, go instantly steal always on it. This one's not that much testing, it's kind of just the strategy I found I liked, and I just stuck with it, and it seemed to work fairly well. So I got what we call free sticking, which is where you just get each of the buildings up to where they got free sticks upgrades, because it's kind of that sweet spot where they get the 1.2 jellies generated per sec, and you haven't spent too much money investing into them, because you spend a certain amount just to steal them, and then you also spend a certain amount upgrading, and there's kind of that sweet spot zone in between. So yeah, I just kind of do the same for that, all the way up around the side, and then I go straight for a lab, because labs have the fastest movement speed off the bat, so they're good for going for steals, because you can move quicker. So I'm just going to go straight for a steal on this, so I go lab, and then I'm going to go, actually I haven't got enough, I'm talking too much, so I'm doing this, but yeah, normally you do this much quicker. You get a lab up to here at about 40, and then with your lab at 40, you go across steal over here, and then from there it's fairly simple, just kind of cleaning up. Sometimes they build barracks here, sometimes, or barracks forts, their names a bit interchanged. But yeah, it's a pretty simple level with that strategy. So 121, I'm pretty sure that's slow, I haven't remembered the nice numbers yet. But I'll do another demonstration on the level to try and show it quicker. Alright, so I got the free stick on that one, I'm going to move it up again once I get to 11. So then that we had to start at least some level of generation at 0.3 up there. Then got the generation again. I'm saving this with generation, and then I'm going to bounce over, and then I'm going to go for the skill on there. I don't mind that I lose the lab, because a 1 health lab's going to do nothing. It's not going to get any production or anything. And this should be a pretty quick sweep now. Yeah, fairly simple. It's quite hard to mess this one up too much. It's just kind of 10-second variety depending how quick you are with it. But that's my strategy. It's maybe something better you can do. It's like if you're looking to optimize a modern, it's definitely a level that I think isn't that well optimized, but it seems fairly consistent, building up around the side with the 3 sticks and then getting the lab. Level 14 is another one that's not like super optimized. I've got quite a consistent strategy that just means I get like good, reliable fast times. So again, it's going for that 3 sticks. So 1, 2, and then going straight for the next one. We're not going to take this one on this level because it's just too much time to take it, and you don't get kind of the rewards for the investment. And then I go and take the lab. Then with this lab, it's a little bit of watching, but it's around 40 jellies I want to save up for. So I've got like 40 on the map at the moment, obviously, but I need them to be in the lab. And then I'm going to pick whichever one of the 2 is the weakest or the most upgraded. Right, so I've got enough now, so I'm going to probably pick the wrong one there. Oh, now you got the right one, I got the right one. And then I'm going to get the lab, keep the J's flowing into it, because I may then go and still need the ability to attack again, take the other one. I didn't want to do that, I didn't want a spacebar, but I'm just demonstrating, so I'll pretend that didn't happen. But yeah, you don't want to use the spacebar, so then it should be a selection across, but I'll get away with it, like, ish, and it's just a demonstration level. But yeah, the bottom part of that was good there, it's just press the spacebar was a mistake. But yeah, 120 is not the best for that one. I'll do another demonstration, try and be quicker. Get the upgrades. Again, taking the lab again. And then I wait until about 40, picking which one to attack for. It's kind of hard to tell because you've got to try and predict what they're going to do. But they did a double upgrade, so it really didn't matter which one I picked there. If in doubt, you probably want to pick the nearer one just because you'll get there quicker, but it's obviously not a massive, impactful factor. At 108 there, could have been a little bit quicker actually, but fairly solid time. So this is level 15 here. The strats in this one is basically you want to get this jelly here filled up and go and take the one over here because you get shot the least. If you try and go through the middle, you're going to get shot by both turrets. So try and go around the outside, get the least amount of distance to where you're shot. We obviously need to build up our economy first, so you want to build that up as quick as you can. I do the 3 sticks again, and then you want to save up till, it's kind of hard to say, I've often overshot it, but 100 is too much, somewhere around 80, it's trying to get a feel for it. But yeah, so I'll wait for a moment, and then I'll move them over, and then go straight up to this one. You better time it careful or they're going to shoot at you, but generally they don't actually have that much makes it through because they'll get shot down. Then again, it's just, yeah, moving around the J's quickly, trying to steal. And turn up nice at that. 54 seconds, a fairly solid time. And that's the final level of the run for the easy percent. Obviously, for any longer categories that uses the exact same thing works. There's no advantage passed on between levels. So that's the end of the run. I hope the guide was useful. I haven't read anything like this before, so I'm not too sure what to include, what not to. I'll try my best to keep the run updated because obviously there's no point having an out-of-date run if you think I missed anything, let me know. Shout me with whatever mistakes or like missing strats were there. I think that's all really. Best of luck if you are attempting to run. Oh, and yeah, the last section of this video is just explaining how to run if you haven't done before. So, but you don't need to watch it. It's only if you haven't run and you are looking to do so. This is just a quick explanation of how to actually complete a run. So the category rules are quite lenient at the moment and stuff. The run starts when you click the start button down here. Although that's a bit more complicated instead, as some people start when they enter the first level, so it's yet to be fully decided. But yeah, you have to have video proof, which is really obvious. I use OBS, you can use what you want. You need to have a timer, so I have a live splits I use, which partly helps me know if I'm on track, if I've messed up a level, kind of gives me a feel for the run, but also stops anyone just splicing runs together really simply. Include audio, which I failed to do one time, still got run submitted, but ideally you have it. And then the only other thing I was going to say is how to actually get up and play. I play personally on Friv. I think it's like any of the sites probably fine to play on, but I know it's reliable. I haven't ever had any issues with it. I play in a private browser like tab session, because that means I don't have cookies saved over, so I can just go in and have a new clean fresh slate each time I play. So I just go into new tab. I often have it saved what I want the URL saved, so I just put it in, game quickly loads up, and within a minute I'm off again on a new save, new start to be able to perform a run.